Michael, I just looked at my watch and I got time today. I cannot let you sign off the show with a parting shot, the level of it's Magic Johnson and it's not close. But no disrespect.
It's not close.
What do you mean it's not close?
It's not. And Steph Curry is one of my favorite players of the last 20 years. So I love what Steph. I love what Steph is doing.
I know you love him. I know you love him.
So here we go. They didn't talk about positionless basketball when Magic was playing. There were very clearly defined positions. You had your point guard, you had your shooting guard, your small forward, all this stuff, and big men were different then. So they didn't talk about it. So the guy who's really being disrespected in a sense is Magic. Magic is being limited to point guard. He's being limited to 1980s language.
We know what he did in the absence of Kareem. He played center for crying out loud. So
exactly.
He might have invented positionless basketball.
He's the one who would translate to this era perfectly.
Yeah.
It's not that Magic can play. It's not that Magic can play every position. So a lot of guys
can
play every. I'm saying, but it's not just that. So a lot of guys can play multiple positions and they can get you through a game, or they can do well. Magic could excel at every position, 1 through 5. And I just can't I can't name 5 players in NBA history who can say that with accuracy. And the other thing about Magic that I love is that he was a different guy throughout each of their championship runs. So he was that guy, the first championship they won, Game 6 in Philly, he has that 42 points filling in for Kareem as they clinched the championship on the road. But he wasn't MVP Magic as a rookie. But in 1987, when they won, he's an MVP Magic who has worked on his outside game. And in between, early in Magic's career, people forget about this. Second championship, he was a defensive force too. I think he was on an all-defensive team. So Magic could bring a lot of different things to the game. He could give it whatever it needed. And last thing I'll say is why it's not even close, Mike, and maybe this is my bias. I've given myself a little bit of a homework assignment over the last month and a half, and I've gone back and I've watched all the championships that Magic won. It just so happened. That wasn't the assignment, but I went through I started, I'll tell you how it started. 1983, because I grew up in Akron, rooting for the Cavaliers. And at that time, rooting for the Cavaliers, you have to have a second team because the Cavaliers were terrible. So my second team in the early 80s were the Sixers. So I was like, hey, I want to go see this. When the Sixers, when they swept the Lakers in 83, I'm going to go back and watch that Game 4 again. And as I went back and watched Game 4, I realized I didn't watch that game. I thought I did. I didn't see that game, so it was all new to me. So I just kept watching championships throughout the 80s. And Magic,
you went down a rabbit hole, basically. Yeah.
Magic's underrated. Magic, great player, is underrated. He should be in the conversation for greatest player. He's in conversation for greatest player.
Well, he is. I mean, at least in any intelligent basketball conversations that I like to take part in, he is absolutely in the conversation for greatest. He may not, at the end of the conversation, it may not land on Magic. It more often than not lands on Michael Jordan, maybe Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. In terms of contemporary conversations, some people have come on the LeBron James side, but he's in that group. He's in that club, okay? He's on Mount Rushmore, but here's the thing, man. I don't disagree with anything you said. You brought a lot of facts. You was preaching just now, okay? On the 60th anniversary of I Have a Dream, that was an incredible speech, okay? That you just gave. Where we part company is it's not even close.
Why are we parting company on that?
Because you're underrating Steph. And I think, but before we part company, let's agree on something for purposes of the continuation of this conversation. I don't think we're debating point guard at this point. We're just talking about who's a better player, right? And they just so happen to have the same designation. But is that fair? Can we agree on the terms of this conversation? Who's the better player?
Right.
Okay. So who's the better player? Magic or Steph? I'm sorry if this is a cop-out. I'm sorry. And I know that's not what we do in this business. I know we don't say there's no wrong answer. I know we gotta pick a side. You gotta pick Tom Brady and hate Peyton Manning. You gotta pick Michael Jordan, you gotta hate LeBron James. But once upon a time, Michael, on this here show, I told you where I was in the MJ LeBron debate. I told you I was at Prince and Stevie Wonder level. So I'm going to run that back here. I'm going to run that back here. I'm going to run that back here, man, because there are things that Steph Curry does with a basketball and on a basketball court that Magic Johnson couldn't dream of doing. And if he ever did dream of doing it, he better wake up and apologize. Just as Steph Curry cannot be 6'9", there are things that Magic Johnson could never do that Steph Curry does. Here's the thing. Here's why I think it's Prince and Stevie Wonder. Here's why it's Prince and Stevie Wonder. Like because both these guys transcend not just positions, but are transcendent figures in different ways. Steph Curry can't be the same type of transcendent figure that Magic was because Steph Curry didn't come into a league that was on tape delay. Steph Curry didn't build this league on his back. Steph Curry didn't carry this league the way that Magic Johnson once did from a commercial standpoint. There is a Steph Curry because of Magic Johnson. Just like there's going to be a I don't know who because of Steph Curry. Like, Steph Curry has done too much for this game, and he has revolutionized this game as we know it. The game is played. Magic Johnson was the prototypical point guard, and there ain't been many, but 6'9" ball handlers and 6'9" point guards, again, there ain't been many, if any, became in vogue because of Magic Johnson. The game is played differently. Forget about the mold of a point guard. Well, real quick, I'll just say this last sentence and then you quibble. Right. With everything I just said if you want. Forget about the mold of a point guard. Forget about what it means to be a point guard. And forget about the mythology and the league as we know it in the 80s and the aftermath of that, thanks to Magic Johnson. Forget that for a second. Literally, the game is played differently. The game itself. You want to talk about it? This is what Steph Curry has done to basketball is the equivalent of the lane being widened for Wilt Chamberlain. It's he's broken basketball and rebuilt it in his image. Quibble away.
Yeah, well, okay. Here, I just want to quibble with something you said. He's a prototypical point guard. Talking about Magic. I'd say Magic was the atypical point guard who played the position prototypically.
Well done.
If that
what
makes
you
sense.
Said.
So
yeah, makes total sense. Makes total sense.
Okay, I'll give him that. But I'm so glad you said about Steph because look, Steph has opened up the court for he literally opened up the court for the league. So the league is played, the game is played more up and down and side.
And not to say Magic didn't do that. And not to say Magic and the Showtime Lakers didn't do that.
You're right.
Well, no. But I'm saying in a different way. In a different way, they ushered in a different brand of basketball in their own way, with the way Magic Johnson played.
And since I got on my NBA Finals assignment, I couldn't stop. So kept going. And so one play, and this is probably like from Game 3 or Game 4 from the 2022 Finals. Steph hits a shot from about 30 feet. So, I mean, think about this. Hits a shot from 30, is fouled on the shot. Why is he fouled on the shot? Because you can't leave him alone from 30. He's fouled. Right. He makes the three. And then as soon as he makes the three, he does this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Knowing he's going to make the free throw. Everybody in the house knows he's going to make the free throw. Yeah. That stuff did not happen. That didn't happen. And so you're right. It's a different game. When I went back and I watched that 83 game, it really threw me off, Michael, because I could see the lane. The lane was crowded. They were all down there. Moses Malone and Kareem throwing bows, complaining to the refs. And I'm like, y'all, there's a 22-footer. It's wide open. There's a 24-footer. Ain't nobody taking it. They go long stretches. Guys would have the ball. Nobody's checking them at the three-point line, and they're not taking it. They're going inside. They're taking mid-range jumpers. Game's not played like that. So Magic did play in that type of league, but he did also play in a league when it started to change, and they started to take these three-point shots, and he became a three-point shooter. So, look, Steph is one of the 15 greatest players in the history of the league. Magic's one of the 5 greatest players in the history of the league.
15? That's mad conservative. Okay. So
15?
Okay, you continue this entire conversation. 15? See, you keep
league 77 years old.
Like my cousin Vinny. Like my cousin Vinny. How much more shit can you pile on this pile of shit? It's like earlier you said it's not even close between Magic and Steph. Then you come back at 15? How many championships does he have to win? 15 though, dude? 15. I realize you can get the 15 quick. I realize you can get the 15 very fast in this league.
Oh, see, that's what y'all,
but 15, bro? God damn. So you're just not a Steph guy. You're just not a Steph guy. Okay, I got it. You're just not a Steph Curry guy.
I am a Steph guy. I am a Steph guy.
That's basically what you're saying.
You know what I'm not?
I'm just going to whittle down what you just said.
I tell you, no.
Okay, that's fine.
You're trying to whittle that down.
Okay, that's fine.
You know what I'm not? I'm not a guy. I'm not a guy who will just give everything to a championship, like championship fan bases want it all. That's not me. They want it all.
Not me.
They want everything.
No. I, from the beginning, I have railed against rings culture. I am the originator of railing against rings culture, okay? I've never judged players, individual players, by rings, which is why I have never once, including this moment right here, never once invoked 6 championships from Michael Jordan. You know I've never done that.
That's fair.
But where I do agree with you on Magic, real quick, where I wanted to say this, where I do agree with you, because I said this about Michael Jordan. Magic is underrated. His all-around game is underrated. Magic Johnson's, every time you see LeBron James passing somebody in triple doubles, a lot of times he's passing Magic Johnson. Okay, Magic Johnson was an incredible all-around player who people think about his no-look passes and showtime and this, that, and the other. Having said all that, bro, Steph Curry, like, how you go top 15? You have where in the top 15? Where in the top 15? Where in the top 15? Like, I don't know. Is he in the first 10 of 15? Okay. Do you have 14 better players better than Steph Curry?
I'm saying, how good do I look? Am I better looking than him? Am I better looking than her? Am I looking at it's like you can never get the right answer. You can't get the right anscer until you come up with number one.
But I didn't ask you the question. You just volunteered. You just decided to say, you decided amongst yourself, he's one of the 15 best players in the league. Well, that's a hot take. I never asked you where he ranked. We were talking about Magic and Steph, and then you went with this bullshit. Like 15?
I mean, how's it bullshit? How's it bullshit? I mean, we still got Bill Russell.
Okay, we've established he's the best shooter of all time, which last I checked, that's a pretty important part of basketball. He's the best shooter of all time. He's in the conversation as best point guard. How many motherfuckers you gonna put ahead of him? I'm just saying, I mean, like, we can't have this conversation over here, and then you're like, oh, he's one of the 15 best players. Like, wait a second.
In our next
debate, wait a minute.
Then our next debate, we're going to talk about Steph versus LeBron. And then okay, wait a minute. Like, I think there are certain players. There are certain players who I think, wait for it, gasp. There are certain players who are better than Steph Curry. There are certain guys who are better than he is.
Okay,
and he's
the homework assignment.
Name one.
Here's your
Michael
homework.
Jordan.
Give me the 14 better players than Steph Curry. Give me 14 better guys than Steph Curry.
Jordan
No argument.
is better. Magic Johnson is better. Wilt Chamberlain is better. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is better. As a matter of fact, Steph may not even be the best Warrior. I'm just tripping. I'm tripping. But Rick Barry is underrated. Rick Barry's underrated.
You're going to keep going.
I ain't going to keep going. I got more. I got more. I'm not doing this. I mean, I think Larry Bird's better. I think Larry Bird's a better player than Steph. No, I think Bird's better.
Okay.
I think Hakeem Olajuwon is a better player. I think LeBron is a better player. I mean, where am I? 8, 9? How many?
That's
9,
7.
10?
I think that's 7. No, that's 7, homie. That's 7. Homer's getting a lot harder now, ain't it? That's 7.
Okay. I'm not doing this right now, but I'll put him in the top 12.
I'm not doing this right now. You brought it up.
I'll put him in the top 12.
You said it with such conviction, but you're not doing it right now. Now he's in the top 12. Gee, thanks. Gee, appreciate it. Thank you. How magnanimous of you. How magnanimous. I will allow Steph Curry in my top dozen players of all time.
But you think I'm being unreasonable when I say a league that started in 1946. In 1946.
I didn't say you were being unreasonable. I just asked you to show your work. I just asked you to show your work.
Curry
I just asked you to show your work. I didn't say you were being unreasonable.
Players in
I
the
didn't say you were being
history of that
unreasonable.
league.
That sounded conservative to me. I simply asked you to show your work. How did you arrive at this conclusion, is all I asked. And you couldn't get past 7 or 8 without struggling.
I can get past 7 or 8.
But you won't do it right now. But you won't do it right now. I got it.
Did I name Olajuwon yet?
Yes, you did.
Okay, how about this? Did I name Tim Duncan yet? Did I mention Tim Duncan?
No, you did not. You did not mention Tim Duncan.
I didn't mention Tim Duncan. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's 8. I think that's 8.
Okay, did I mention Kobe Bryant yet?
9. Okay.
Okay, all right. So we're getting there.
Well, you're almost there. You're almost there. You're almost there.
Okay, but I can get there. Like all those players that I named.
Gotcha.
And I'm probably leaving out some.
I'm putting you on the spot. I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay, no, that's all right. I don't mind being on the spot. This is like I love.
No, but I mean,
the NBA. I love the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of struggle with. Yeah, that's my guy though. I love Moses. I mentioned Moses. I can't give it to Moses. How about Shaq? Shaq? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I gotta work with it a little bit more. I gotta work with it. Giannis?
Hey, that's your next homework assignment. Giannis? Okay, that's enough. That's your next homework assignment.
Oh, wait a minute.
Come on.
Oh, Giannis that's a bad pick? Giannis? Is that a bad one?
Let's quit while we are ahead.
Okay.
Okay. You putting Giannis ahead of Steph? Like, nah, player. Nah, big guy. We're good. We're good. This is worth extra time. This is worth extra time.
Oscar Roberts.
Oscar?
How about Oscar?
If you want. And it's your list. It's your list. It's your list.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna come back.
I think you put my point about 5 minutes ago. You gonna make it official? Next time we on the show, about a week from now, whenever that is, next time we on the show together, save it for when I'm on. Don't do it with nobody else. Save it for me. Holly's 15 best NBA players. And we know Steph is at number 15. We already know that. Steph is at 15.
I say he's in. He's within. He's within. I didn't say he's number 15. I said he's one of the top 15.
When you're getting close. You're getting close. You're in double digits now. People that's better than Steph Curry.
He's 12. He's 12 or above. He's 12. He's 12 on down. Either 12, 11, 10, somewhere in there. And that's fair. Come on. That's a good number to be. That's a good place to be.
I think certain dudes are beyond debate. Going back to how this started, this Magic and Steph thing, I think it's a debate with no end. I think it's a debate with no real conclusion. I think certain dudes get to that level where it's just like we're just talking to hear ourselves talk, you know.
I ain't even put one of my heroes on there. I ain't put Julius Winfield Irving on the list. I ain't put him on there. I love him, but
you sound old as hell right now. You know that? You sound like you know what you sound like? Somebody who's 10 years older than me. You sound like somebody who's 10 years older than me.
But I'm not. I'm not. With your old ass. Welcome. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.